Let's talk about the list.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Siraj, tell us, what is the list?
The list is a power ranking of people who need their phones taken away.
Yeah. Power ranking.
Well, yeah, it's power ranking. I mean, it started off as a power ranking. But it's usually a top 10 of people who need their phones taken away based on bad tweets. And I do it weekly. Do it Monday nights. Tonight. Oh, it's Monday night.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to do the top 10 people on Twitter.
We are doing we are doing an abbreviated version. I narrowed it to just 10 candidates this week. We're just going to debate the order of which ones just because, I can take up to like 2 hours doing this on the list stream.
You got a list here.
I got a list here.
Starting from 10?
Yeah.
So this is the top 10 list of the worst tweets of the week of December 13th, 2021. Do you do this on Rumble or YouTube or anything?
Yeah, I do it Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch.
Because top 10s are huge on YouTube. Like, people love top 10 lists where it's like the top 10 whatever.
Well, I have a feeling that YouTube is a bit Islamophobic, and they don't want to put my stuff up there.
That explains it. Yeah, because if they weren't, they would just put you on the front page every day.
Exactly, yeah.
That's right.
It's wrong think.
Yeah, that proves it.
Yeah.
Agree, yeah.
All right, we have the list here.
All right.
Do you want to read it?
Well, so here's the thing. I usually read it in a Pakistani accent because my family, they are from Pakistan. So I can read Bloomberg. They are coming in number 10. Some of the advice on how to cope with rising inflation includes spend your paycheck right away.
Sounds so wise.
we did talk about this one. That is a very good tweet to make the list.
Wow.
I usually go into commentary. So, do you think this deserves recognition, Ian, Luke?
Absolutely. They're absolutely insane. I was talking about this before I even knew it was on the list because it's an absolute slap in the face to anyone paying any attention to reality.
Now, what if it said spend your paycheck right away on Bitcoin?
That's what I'm saying.
Then I'd be like, that's a good one.
If what they're saying is spend it before it gets devalued on something that's going to inflate in value, then okay. But if it's spend it haphazardly on anything
you're gonna love number 9.
We should get like a clear plastic for the TV so I can take a Sharpie and write with on Bitcoin.
Marker, yeah.
All right.
Number 9.
Number
the hill.
9.
It is the hill.
Yes.
Bitcoin surge, a boon for white nationalists. Study.
Yes.
The funny thing is, it's a boon for everybody.
Exactly. So why is it not white nationalists?
Well, because look, they take the umbrella of everyone, and then within the umbrella of everyone, and there's a smaller umbrella of white nationalists, and that's the one that's going to get clicks.
Yeah.
Remember that I think it was Ryan Long that was making a skit about the employees that work at Vice, and they took reproductive toys, and they just started throwing it at them around the board.
It wasn't Ryan Long.
Okay, but I remember I think Ryan Long did something similar, but I think it was someone else. I don't know. Someone will tell me on the internet. But they took a male reproductive organ toy and they literally threw it at a board filled with a bunch of names, and it stuck. And then they literally created their titles out of it. I think this was a case of that.
Ryan Long's was where he was like, you have a bag of nouns and 2 different nouns, and he was like, why blank is bad for blank.
Yes.
And he would just pull random ones up, and then he would the funny thing is he would show actual articles titled that. So yes, Bitcoin surge, a boon for white nationalists, much in the same way that Bitcoin boon is a surge for quite literally anyone who owns Bitcoin.
Yes.
And their pets.
Yes,
it's just
exactly.
amazing.
I was actually reading a chart the other day that showed that Bitcoin is actually a huge boon for black people and investors in every field.
And Salvadorians.
Yep.
And has lifted a lot of people out of poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not racist enough.
All right.
This is an economics heavy list. I'm
great.
usually not
I dig
used
it.
to this. It's usually a lot more unhinged, but don't worry, it gets worse.
It gets better.
Number 8, we have Paul Krugman. He tweets, aside from priorities, is this even true? Is there any good reason to believe that inflation hits low-income households especially hard?
What?
Okay, hold on.
He's an economist.
Now he's obviously, go ahead, Tim.
No, it just reminds me of the Futurama episode where the judge is he's Judge Whitey, and he's like, oh, poor people. The only poor people I want to hear about are the people who tend to my pores at the spa. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's accurate.
I mean, Krugman's just been wrong on so many things.
Everything.
It's I don't even know where to start with this one.
The man has no shame.
He doesn't.
So I love this because when Bloomberg is like, quick, spend your paycheck as soon as you can because of inflation. And then he's like, is that really hitting low-income households especially hard? It's like, bro, they're literally telling them to dump their money as fast as possible. Like, that's pretty bad.
What he's saying is if money is becoming less valuable, then the people that don't have any money aren't being affected by it anyway.
That's a good point.
Makes sense.
It's like,
yeah.
why are you worried about inflation? You don't have any money. No, you don't have money. So why are you worried about the value of money?
Yeah, that's fair.
Duh.
Yeah, okay.
It was so easy.
That makes sense.
Number 7. President Biden tweets out, the United States pays its debts when they are due. That's why today I signed a bill to fast track the process to raise our debt limit. And if you don't believe me, you shut the hell up your mouths.
Yeah.
This is effectively the president of the United States saying, we're in debt, so I took out a new credit card.
Yeah, I took out a new loan.
A new line of
Yeah.
credit.
Great. Yeah.
See, the thing is, they don't like it. They don't like Ponzi schemes, but they like Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the government doesn't want you doing it,
They want to do it.
but that's literally what our economic system is. It's a Ponzi
Yeah,
scheme.
it's the Federal Reserve.
Yeah. Number 6.
Here we go.
Lauren Boebert.
Oh, no, Lauren. Hubbard.
Oh, 365,348 children went missing in 2020. You haven't heard a word from media about it. Therein lies the problem. Oh, I'm sorry. Therein lies
What the heck?
problem.
I see what she did there.
I'm so confused.
Therein lies the
There.
problem.
But that's not why it's list worthy.
Yeah, it should be. That's
I
what
mean,
it's for.
this is a
There
thing. This is
lies.
a thing. Remember, like a month or two ago with the Gabby Petito case, and then you had Joy Reid going on MSNBC saying that this is a missing white woman syndrome,
Yes.
and no one has talked about like missing people of color since. It's in the same token here with Lauren Boebert. Like, there's nothing stopping Lauren Boebert
can
from
talk about
tweeting
it.
about missing children.
But she's saying the media doesn't run these stories. You know what I mean?
No, I know that.
Yeah.
Is that an accurate number? Is that domestically or internationally? Is that a world number or a U.S. number? Or is that even just a made-up number?
Good question.
Is
have no
M
idea.
lies a
Into it.
word?
No.
It's not. No.
But like,
that's not a thing.
my bigger question
She's
is.
spitting right there. I like that. She's making up words like I do.
like that.
No, I gotta say, I think this should be lower on the list. I think
You think
Biden
it should be lower on the
Yeah, I
list?
think
Where
it
you
should be
think it?
lower.
Where you think it should be?
I don't know. It's like, it's a weak point. You know what I mean?
What do you think? Like number 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can move it to number 10.
Yeah, maybe
there we
number
go.
10. Because one of the things that really bothers me about media criticism is they go like, X happened, and I don't see the media talking about
Right,
it. And then
yeah.
there'll be like 20 articles. They just
Exactly.
didn't Google search it.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's lazy criticism for sure.
Yeah,
And that is on my intern Ben, who is Ben Morrissey, who is going to be fired for this.
He's gonna be fired.
Ben,
He's-
what have you?
What have you done,
you.
Ben? You could go follow him on Twitter at Ben
Oh,
Morrissey.
here we
16.
go.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I was just
So
about to say
anytime,
this. I was just about to say the next one.
anytime.
But I'm going to let you do the honors.
Okay, I say it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I say it. Number 5, The Atlantic tweets out, across the United States, well-meaning citizens are raising awareness about the child X trafficking
Yes.
epidemic that doesn't exist. Kate Tiffany unpacks how an internet conspiracy theory birthed a 21st century moral panic.
Now, did the CNN and CIA pay for this particular piece of
goodness.
journalism? Or
Did child trafficking write this article?
Yeah. What kind of ruling elite person? How much money did they drop to cover
is
up their
this
horrible
Epstein
antics when it comes to
ghostwriter?
hurting
The-
children in
the-
unspeakable ways?
The real Epstein is in an underground bunker writing the story for the
Right.
Atlantic.
The real Epstein are the friends we made along the way.
But I was talking about this during the broadcast as well. So I'm happy that made the list because it's really incredulous to say the least. And the owner of the Atlantic is seen in a very weird bikini photo with Ghislaine Maxwell cuddling up to her. So there's that.
Gross.
Here's the issue. They say child trafficking epidemic. How do you define something when you're using like a metaphor to describe what it is, right?
the whole point.
Like I guess they're literally saying it's like an epidemic of trafficking. But what's the threshold for that? There's no CDC guidelines.
Right.
Are there? Is there like if 100,000 kids, it's officially an epidemic? Because the question is, if we get a bunch of stories, if we know what Epstein was doing, if we know what the CNN producer is accused of doing, if we hear these stories about the CIA officer, and we know there are powerful elites doing really messed up stuff with kids, at what point do you decide it's an epidemic?
Yo, America's ODing hard on child trafficking. Number four.
Number four.
We have Midas touch.
Midas touch.
Always
Absolute. It is terrible account. I hate this one. But let's read. January 6th was biggest crime ever perpetuated against the United States, and nearly every Republican is complicit.
But that's true. Every Republican. Every Republican.
Even the people that registered after January 6th.
Isn't it a crazy thing to believe that? Like, January 6th had a bunch of bumbling people walking through open doors where the police opened it for them. Cops were being reprimanded because they were taking selfies with people. There was that riot in the front where they were fighting with police and all that stuff. And it's bad, of course.
Yeah.
The biggest crime? Didn't the British burn down the White House?
Yeah. Well, wasn't it the French?
No, the French
the British
won.
did in 1812, I think.
9/11, Pearl Harbor, Oklahoma City.
Yeah, many such cases.
Many such
Yeah,
cases.
it's true.
Yeah. I mean, quite literally any serial killer.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy? Yeah.
Jim Crow.
Yeah.
Slavery.
Yeah.
The Tuskegee experiments? Yeah, that's one.
Wow.
MK Ultra. I mean, it's just too many.
Yeah,
The acid
January
experiments?
6th wouldn't even make any reasonable list of
It
crimes.
would
against
not.
the
It
United
wouldn't
States.
even make the top 10.
Yeah.
It won't make the top 100.
It would. Yeah, take top.
You know, I could
100.
probably make a list of 100 crimes against the United States that were worse than January 6th very easily.
Oh, yeah.
You want to make that list?
We
Next
could-
time. We'll
Well,
do that
'cause-
next time.
no, but-
Worst crimes against the United States ranked.
But here's the funny thing: it's like if you go back through history, there's going to be like ransacking of orphanages. There's going to
Right.
be like the burning down of like government facilities. There's going to be like the bombing of a military base. How many military base bombings have happened over the past 20 years?
Quite a few.
Like in the Middle East, if, you know.
Oh yeah, Middle East for sure. I mean, yeah, tons. I mean,
Yep.
can't even name them off the top
So
of your
you'd
head.
have to
There's
go
so many.
like non-wartime tragedies against the United States.
Why?
It'd be too easy if you did wartime too.
God, we're just creating new lists out of the list. This
I
is
know.
crazy.
Sub-list.
Fractal.
But this is a very common one. They
Yeah.
say things they don't think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Number 3, Stuart Stevens. Now, this guy is actually Lincoln Project.
Oh, God.
Type. Or at
right,
least
we
he's
know what's going
part of that ilk. He tweets, to be more concerned about inflation than a plot to end democracy is pretty much a definition of the choice made by many and dubbed out to Germany.
Oh, my God.
That is that. Wow, very astute, Stuart Stevens. Wow, the insight here is astounding. Yeah.
Yeah, you think it's appropriate?
What, for the list?
Yeah, top 3.
I don't know about top 3,
Okay.
but
Pretty good.
I think the Midas Touch one is like should be up higher.
You think
Maybe flip them.
Maybe flip him? Okay.
I don't know. He is pretty unhinged there. I mean,
Why would you argue that this is worse than the Midas Touch?
because
tweet?
it's just like absolutely like low IQ to like the highest degree.
It's you know remember when you were a kid and they would be like, you know, are you PT? You ever hear that one from a little kid? And then like no matter what you say, it's like a stupid joke that kids say. Like if you say no, they say you're not potty trained, and if you say yes, they say you're a pregnant teenager. Like it's the stupidest child. Like that's how I view this. It's like operating under an assumption that like he's decided something is happening that's really really bad.
Yeah.
Like what I mean is, you know, like no matter how you view it, he's going to imply the worst possible thing is
Right.
currently occurring. Like there's no. His statement assumes too much.
I guess.
Yeah.
So you think it shouldn't be top 3 though?
No, because look at this one. January 6th was the biggest crime ever perpetrated.
I mean,
against the US.
I'm kind of with you on that.
I don't know. Maybe
Kinda
you're right.
tied.
You know what? Let's think about this like poker, right? So let's do this. Midas Touch says January 6th was the biggest crime ever perpetrated against the United States. That's kind of like an ace high. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's one statement. Oh no. He added every Republican is complicit. That's a pair of aces.
Okay.
But here, let's go down here. We have a couple things. He's saying inflation isn't as bad. There's a plot to end democracy, and he's comparing it to World War II Germany. We got 3 of a kind.
Yep.
So I think it
trumps.
does. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it does make the right spot.
All right, that's fine. Number 2, Daily Mail Online. 32,000 Americans who think they'll be alive for Christmas will be dead by year's end.
Yes.
Experts warn.
That's a good
Man,
one.
number one better be pretty damn good because that's great.
Yeah, that's huge right
Yeah,
there.
that's
All that's missing is, and you
dead.
may be one of them.
Yeah.
Thank you for that Christmas present, Daily Mail.
That's amazing.
Really appreciate it.
Oh my God.
Okay, here we go.
Number
Number one.
one, Nell
Oh,
Scovell.
yep.
She spells it Noel, but it's actually Nell. She did it for that Christmas thing.
Oh,
This is after the horrible tornadoes that over the weekend in Kentucky, or like over 64 people have died. So I'm not going to read this in the Pakistani accent. I'll just read this in my normal voice. She tweets out, "Sorry, Kentucky, maybe if your two senators hadn't spent decades blocking legislation to reduce climate change, you wouldn't be suffering from climate disasters. If it's any consolation, McConnell and Rand have effed over all of us, too."
Well, I do got to say she's correct because, as we know, Rand Paul has been actively assisting China with their pollution and America, of course, has been. No, wait, Rand Paul has no power over what China is doing.
Oh.
You're telling me? So that's not the case.
Yeah. What?
Rand Paul and Mitch McConnell
Right.
have been assisting.
They're the reasons why the tornadoes formed.
right,
Yes. Yeah.
right.
Yes.
So
They're in charge of the weather machines.
Yes.
right. Well, no. What she's saying basically is that Rand Paul has been blocking legislation against China. Right.
Right.
So, wait.
What?
Oh, she's talking about America.
Yeah.
Oh, she thinks we have control over the other.
Oh, yes,
polluters.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about the trichlorofluoromethane that's being emitted from China's factories in the northeastern provinces of the country that has like the highest ozone depletion factor.
Yeah, and also just like the general carbon, if you
And
want to
that
get
too,
really
yeah.
simple.
You know, and how they just-
And so the funny thing about this whole climate change thing, especially, is like the United States passes all these bills, all these laws locally, banning plastic straws, banning plastic bags, and yet the Pacific Gyre and all the garbage is still there. Why? Because it's other countries.
Yeah.
So if you're concerned about climate change and you're blaming Rand Paul,
It's pretty,
yeah, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This lady needs her phone taken away immediately.
Immediately.
I mean,
Does.
That's
to
a
So
lot.
if
try
you scroll
to-
down,
Yeah.
Lydia,
Yeah.
you can
I couldn't do it.
you can
try
see
to-
that she deleted that tweet.
yeah, good.
Oh.
I mean,
And that ratio, look at that
Well,
ratio.
does she earn any kind of credit for deleting it?
Just more humiliation.
I'm surprised we don't have Democratic politicians calling to defund tornadoes
Yeah.
with that same kind of logic.
Now-
It's absolutely insane to use the tragedy that people are going through right now for political brownie points. I mean, that's just disgusting.
You know,
I
I miss the good old days when the public warning was "Don't fire your gun at a tornado to stop it."
Yes. Bring
Wasn't
that back.
what didn't Donald Trump talk about like nuking? Like, didn't he want?
Yeah,
to
he
ask-
wanted to nuke a
Actually
hurricane.
did want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he asked about it. I don't think he wanted. He was like, if we nuke it, will it do anything? And they were like, Trump, like the hurricane. It's as big as New York. It's like nothing's gonna happen.
He watched too much
Hey.
Sharknadoes.
Yeah.
Baller move.
Now I gotta say something. I gotta say
Complain.
something. I understand why you made Nell number one. Because it combined like bad taste with disrespect, bad timing, and just everything
terrible
about
timing.
political like exploitation.
Yep.
And it was a very serious. I want the Daily Mail one to be the first because these are good. I'm looking at all these things and I kind of view it like poker. You know what I mean? Like, so this 32,000 Americans who think they'll be alive for Christmas will be dead, and they did dead in all caps. I love that. That's the right method, right?
Yep.
By years and expert warrants. It just combines so much. It's like almost a
rich.
royal flush of bad tweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like when weighed against a sensitive and devastating event like Nell Scovell's, that trumps that.
So let's break this one down. You've got the Kentucky tragedy.
Yep.
You've got political exploitation. You've got climate change. You've got a dig at Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul.
Different.
And she's including herself as a victim in the.
Yeah,
Yikes.
and also in the beginning,
pathetic.
she starts off with "Sorry, Kentucky." It's very blasé, as if
It's like
sorry this
Goodbye.
all happened to you, but
It's like a royal flush.
Yeah.
I
Plus
think
you
it hits
put
it. I think it
early
is.
In the morning.
That is easily number one with a bullet.
Yeah.
It's like someone
That you then fire into a tornado.
This
to
is
stop
the
it.
this is the equivalent of like someone in real life getting run over by a car, and then like a liberal lady walking over, be like, "It's all fossil fuels' fault that this happened," and then like, "Call an ambulance, help!" And like, "Nope, sorry."
We got to burn more fossil fuels to get that ambulance to you.
Yeah.
There was that story where a guy working at an Amazon warehouse, I guess, texted, "They're not letting us leave," and then he died.
That's terrible.
I just gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, whoever you work for, if there's a tornado coming, think about yourself first, protect your family. If your boss is like, you can't leave, tell your boss, have a nice day, because I can go talk to the labor department, the labor board after the tornado, and we can deal with this. And you trying to, play some BS, man. Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Now, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.